Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Rohde here from Queensland Rural in Charters Towers. Just bringing you another market wrap up from today's combined prime and store sale here for the 19th of November 2025. Combined acres yarded approximately 2,775 cattle there in total. There's a touch over 1,600 prime cattle and just shy of 1,200 store cattle yarded there. That met very, very strong demand. Another exceptional day here in Charters Towers for that cattle market here as well. So jumping straight into it, there's about 650 bullocks yarded, 250 heifers, 550 cows, and a larger run of 200 bulls on offer there today in that prime section. I tell you what, the absolute highlight of that day, an absolutely fantastic result on those big heavy bullocks. Probably one of the bigger, heavier yarding of bullocks that we have seen for quite some time. There was an exceptional run, account of the Eden Cattle Co. They had approximately 275 bullocks there, kind of 550 to 650 kilos. They topped the market today at 464.2 cents. You know, all of those bullocks, very well heavy finish. They were HGP treated. They met exceptional competition on those. Majority of those bullocks today selling anywhere from 445 to 460 cents. So any of those big heavy bullocks that were 550 kilos plus, very, very solid there today. Any of those slippery bullocks from 450 to 550 kilos there today, they'll make it anywhere from $4.20 to $4.40. So another exceptional result there. So more weight, the better in those cattle today. We just keep on seeing it kind of week in, week out. On to your heifers there today. The heifers, probably not a big yarding of those there today. There wasn't too many big heavy heifers in the lead of them, but the best of those, 420 cents, with majority of those heifers making anywhere from 390 to kind of 400 cents. For those, any of those slippery heifers with a bit of weight about them too. So another pretty solid, and I'd say that heifer job firm on last week as well. So a smaller yarding of cows this week from what we have been seeing, only 550 of those yarded today. The best of those getting out to 412 cents for some big heavy kind of 600 plus kilo cows there today. Probably just on relative to the cattle that were yarded there, that cow job might have read 5 to 10 back on paper, but I tell you what, those heavy end cows that were suitable and very well finished, very, very firm on last week's market, no change there in the heavy end. Come down to those mid-run cows there. I think those lighter end cows today could have been a bit dearer than last week, to tell you the truth. Not a big heap of heavy cows in the lead, but any of those slippery cows, those mid-range cows, they're selling exceptionally well. A lot of those cows there today kind of making 360 to 380 cents most of the day. So anything that was covered with a bit of weight about them met strong demand as well. Light store cows, probably not a big heap of those. Probably the first time we haven't seen a big yarding of store cows. But the best of those today, there was some bigger frame store cows at Counter Turley Cattle Co. that were kind of out to 270, 280 and 90 cents there for some big heavy store cows for the best of those. But come down in your mid-range, you know, your older cull type cows there with, you know, they were kind of 380 or 420 kilos, making kind of 250 to 270 cents, I suppose. So that was your cow market there today. Bulls today, pretty firm on last week, 400 and a touch over 400 cents there for the best of your big heavy kill bulls. But a lot of those heavy, you know, them old herd bulls with plenty of weight and cover about them there today, going back to the processors, making anywhere from 370 to 390 cents. Your Mickey job there today, your heavy end of the Mickeys that could go either to the processor or back onto the boat, pretty firm. The best of those out to kind of 400 cents, but plenty of those boat spec Mickeys making $3.80 to $4 consistently throughout the yarding there as well. So that's a wrap of the prime section. Onto the store section. We had about 1,200 head of those today. There was kind of 650 odd steers and had about 600 heifers there as well. They were made up majority of a large run of weaners from out of the north there. Account of Cattle JV sent a large run of lightweight kind of Brahman cross weaners there. There's about 500 in that consignment, which made up majority of today's yarding in that store market. Not a big lot of heavy feeder cattle in the best of those, but the best of those steers today, about 448 cents I've seen for some crossbred type feeder steers, touch over 400 kilos going back on a grain. So a good result there. That market very, very strong for those cattle with weight in them. Into the mid-range run of steers there today, any steer there that was 250 to kind of 400 plus kilos, he was making $4. for a Brahman kind of consistently $4 to $4.40, and I see some really good quality Brahman steers here today. Got out at 460, 70 cents there for about 270 or 80 kilos there, so an exceptional result there. So the more weight and heavier end of these weaner cattle at the moment that are coming through and making exceptional results there as well. So onto your heifer market there today, ladies and gentlemen. A big run of those are 370 cattle JV heifers. They topped at 402 cents there today for some Brahman heifers that were kind of 240 kilos, I'd say, the best of those, the lead of those. So a pretty solid market for them. They kind of went back down into probably 180 kilos there in the tail of those, and they were still kind of making $3.70 or 80 in the best of those for those fresher type heifers going back to the paddock there as well. So any of those kind of mid-range heifers that just might have been slightly turned up in the coat though, that needed to go back into the paddock and do a little job, majority of those today kind of making anywhere from $3.20 to $3.50. So a very solid market there for that restock. We'll certainly see a few restockers in the market after a shower of rain. So that's a wrap of today's market, ladies and gentlemen. If you're got some cattle that you want to market, make sure you get in touch with one of the Queensland rural agents. We are filling fast for next week, so get in touch. We'll look after you then. Thank you.